More VO2 max? More power output in the gym? If it works, I'm down. What's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Today we're going to review Axe and Sledge PEAK-O2. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what you're putting in your body, and we'll go over the effects on this thing. So if you're new to the channel, you like stuff like that, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you along for the ride, leaving comments, asking questions. So jumping right into this, I like what Seth did on this. He understood that this is an ingredient that needs to be taken all the time. It's like creatine. You need to take this thing. You need a dose. There's a dosing protocol to it. And then you have to continue taking it. So it doesn't belong in a pre-workout. He didn't throw it in his pre-workouts. He didn't throw it in his EA formulas because those are products that you don't take every single day to get the benefits of something like this. And I'll describe the benefits as we go along. So he did a really good job on putting this as a single ingredient. I really like that. This is unflavored. So I'm going to put the ingredient profile right in front of me. We're going to talk about the flavor. We'll talk about the scoop and all that stuff. So we have 1 scoop, 2 grams at 60 servings per bottle. So 1 flat level packed scoop is 2 grams. So did a really good job on that. The flavor on this, it's unflavored. So I dry scoop this because the scooper is like super small. And it's got an earthy flavor to it. So there's the scooper there. It has a real earthy flavor to it, but not horrible. If you've ever taken mushrooms, like let's say maca root or something like that, it kind of tastes like maca root in general. So if you can stand maca root in coffee or something like that, or just to take a tablespoon of it, then you should be fine with this. The texture is like a gummy texture. So when it gets in your mouth, the water hits it. It's almost like it's doughy. It's more doughy, like a doughy texture. So you chew on it and swallow it. So not bad. I'm fine with it. And it wasn't nasty or anything like that. No horrible aftertaste. Just earthy. Just mushroomy, earthy. So jumping right into the ingredients, what is PEAK-O2? It's a mystery matrix of cordyceps, militaris, reishi, king tut, shiitake, lion's mane, and turkey tail. We're not going to get into each individual ingredient, but I'll tell you what these ingredients all have in common as far as to deliver their benefits. They're all adaptogens. So adaptogens like ashwagandha, rhodiola, those type of adaptogens, they help our bodies and our minds cope with stressors in life. Could be temperature changes, could be just situations and things you're going through in life, could be physical stressors and mental stressors from the gym, from training really hard. So they are all adaptogens, so they help relieve the stressed effects that it has on you internally on a cellular level. So what they have in common are basically 2 things. One thing is an amino acid called ergothioneine, ET for short. And this is an amino acid that's an antioxidant that's as powerful as glutathione. And glutathione, if anybody knows, it is a powerful antioxidant for the blood vessels and everything in the body. This particular antioxidant helps with what they call superoxides in the body. And superoxides, if they're not controlled, they can literally damage us on a cellular level, our DNA and our RNA. So love that about this as far as health-wise. That ingredient, that ergothioneine, is actually sold in capsule form as well. Like you can get on Amazon and stuff like that. So if you're interested in like that particular single ingredient, you can actually go look for it somewhere and get that and dose it. So the other thing they have in common is beta-glucans. Now beta-glucans are dietary fibers, and we can get them in oats, we can get them in wheat. And basically what these bind to, when they get into the body and they get into the digestive tract and into the intestines, they can actually bind to immune cells called neutrophils. And when they bind to those, they literally supercharge the immune cells, which is basically supercharging your immunity. It's picking it up. So great as far as that goes. They also help with certain types of proteins called interleukins, and they help with leukocyte function, which helps regulate cell growth in the body. This also has, the beta-glucans also are responsible for regulating inflammation and reducing inflammatory markers. And they also help with gut bacteria in the body. So you can assume gut bacteria because they're actually going in there and they're supercharging these neutrophils. So they're going to have some benefits into the gut as well. One study that pops in mind before we get into the effects on this was, there was a really good study done on 75 marathon runners, women and men. And the ages were, I believe, 18 to 55. And these marathon runners, after they did their marathon, they all reported that they had better vitality afterwards. They had better respiratory health. So they weren't having any trouble breathing. They weren't wheezing. They were taking in oxygen really well. They also had less weariness, they said, and they felt better. Well, you can imagine they're feeling better because they're breathing. They feel more recovered pretty much as far as their whole body. So fantastic. I mean, it sounds like a superhuman ingredient, doesn't it? Well, the studies have been done as far as the VO2 max. I think it's increasing VO2 max once you get to the loading phase, which we'll talk about, is like 17%. And power output after 3 weeks to the loading facts was like 20%. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not a whole lot, but it could be recognizable to untrained individuals or trained individuals who are really in tune with their training. But this is more because it is increasing VO2 max, which is oxygen uptake. This, in my opinion, is more for kind of endurance type training. So more, I'd say, athletic type training than just straight bodybuilding training. If you stack this, if you take this and you're taking beta alanine, you're taking creatine, I would imagine for bodybuilding style training that it would benefit as a whole, because it's going to help with the oxygen intake, which is going to help with ATP production, and it's going to help on those, those other things are going to help with ATP production, which oxygen helps with ATP production as well. And then you got the beta alanine. If you're loaded with that, you're going to be removing hydrogen out of the muscles, which is going to help with more reps and more sets. So a combined ingredient or stack to take daily would be all those three as far as this goes, as far as more endurance and output in the gym. So the loading on this, just so you know, the loading is 28 grams. So like creatine, there's a loading phase. Well, it's supposed to be. The studies are all screwed up on creatine, so don't quote me on that. That one time they said there was a loading phase. Now they said there's not. I'm not a big creatine person. I haven't been taking creatine for months. So it's just me. I just don't like what it does to my kidneys and my levels, being a type 1 diabetic. Not saying it's bad. But this particular ingredient is supposed to have a loading phase of 28 grams. So on a product like this that's 60 servings, 1 scoop is 2 grams, you can literally get to your loading phase by taking 2 scoops for 7 days, right? 4 grams times 7, hope I'm doing the math right. And then you can drop back down to 2 grams if you want to make this thing last for a long time. Or you can do what I did. I took 4 grams straight on through. So let me give you my effects on this thing. This is not a superhuman ingredient. But what I did notice after I got close to the loading phase, they say 28 grams, but I felt it was a little bit sooner than 28 grams. I started noticing I started noticing my VO2 max up. I started noticing more oxygen. I train of a style of training like bodybuilding, but also athletic at the same time. So I do burpees, I'll do kettlebell swings, I'll do, more full body athletic movements, push-ups, I'll jump, I just things where I'm putting in more endurance type work to stay lean. So it benefited me. Like I noticed a difference, but it was a slight difference, but it was noticeable. In the long run, did I get stronger? No, I didn't feel the power output, to be honest with you. I didn't feel strength in this thing at all. So I can understand them saying more power output and more VO2 max because of the oxygen intake. Makes sense. And you're going to generate more power in the gym because not power strength wise, but you're going to be able to go a little bit longer. So this is my review on PEAK-O2. I wish there was a lot more I can give you on it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can tell you guys about this that will be beneficial for you when you leave this review. I can't think of anything, but if you guys have any questions or comments, leave it down below. I hope I hit everything. I hope I hit the nail on the head with PEAK-O2 for you guys and delivered a good review. So I'm going to get off. I just pulled up into my structure here. I'm going to get off, run upstairs, and I got to start cooking dinner. So I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Have a good one.